And we are back with another Black Window Cream podcast. New episode every single Wednesday and Sunday. I'm your host, Ben Haggerty, aka Ben Rovers World. How you guys doing? No, your audio is not on 2 times speed or even 10 times speed, although I could talk that fast. I just was excited to get to this podcast episode and let you guys know what's in store for you today. A great episode is on the way. Jakob Owens stopped by the Black Window Cream headquarters, chopped it up with me for a minute. Jakob, if you don't know who he is, he's a beast. DP director. He's fantastic. His work is really, really stunning, and he's just a beast with the camera. He's also a beast of a man. If you haven't seen him, he's the swollest DP on earth. So he even has a guide that'll teach you how to get swole like Jakob. You should definitely go check that out on his website. But not only is he a DP director, he also is an entrepreneur. What I really like about this episode and what personally inspires me about Jakob is his ability to create multiple lanes of revenue by building different businesses. He has his BWNerds channel on YouTube, which is growing. I think it's at like 800,000 subscribers right now. He does a lot of teaching on there. He shows a lot of behind the scenes of his filmmaking process. There's a lot of cool stuff that you should definitely check out if you haven't became familiar with it. He also is the owner of Tropic Color, which is he kept secret for like a year, and finally came out and said that he owns that, which is really dope. He has Prism lens effects, which he's literally building pieces that you can put on your camera to give you different styles. We used it on the Machine Gun Kelly video that was directed not too long ago, and it looked incredible. So yeah, definitely excited for this episode to come out. There's so much that I think you guys are going to learn. He's definitely, when it comes to hustle, that motherfucker, that's like his middle name. He's constantly pushing the limits and setting new bars for himself. He's even committed to trying to buy a new house for every year. Every year for 5 years, which is fucking crazy. And he's coming up on the fifth house right now, which he just got in LA, which is pretty dope. He actually bought like an old, he'll talk about it in the thing, but he just bought an old house. He's tricking it out to be like the illest spot to go and do photo shoots and shoot videos and everything like that. So lots in store, guys. I'm excited for this episode. Thank you, Jakob, for coming through. Yeah, I don't know. That's it. I guess the main thing I want to talk about is our new PDF guide that we made. It's like I don't want to call it a PDF. It's like a fucking book. I mean, me and Dave sat down and went hammer. Our boy Ian chopped it up with the design and made this thing look incredible. This is like 50 some pages long, and it's called How to Charge a Client Guide. It is a literal guide based on my experiences, I guess, throughout my time in this industry, and just, I don't know, some tips and tricks that I think could provide a lot of value when you guys are, trying to answer those hard questions of what is your rate and how much does it cost to do X, Y, Z. All these questions that we all do not know the answers for, I tried to make a little bit more sense in the way I generally go about charging my clients. So if you guys want to check out that, it's available on our store right now, shop.bwnc.com. Patreon members do get that downloadable as soon as they become a patron, which is dope. So if you're trying to get the plug, patreon.com/blackwindowcream and save a little bit of money. But yeah, I don't know, definitely check it out. We put a lot of work into this for several weeks, and I'm excited as fuck. We talk about guides with Jakob during this episode, so definitely looking up to him for making guides, and I think that hopefully this is a non-corny way to explain a lot of good information in a compact amount of time. So yeah, check that out. Please let us know what you think about it. When you do read it, I would love to hear your feedback. I would love to, just pick your brain on what you liked and get some reviews so we can post it on the website too. So submit those. I don't care. Email it to me, blackwithnocream@gmail.com. DM me. I don't care. Whatever you do, just send it to me somehow. I would love to hear your feedback on that. And other than that, the contest is due on the 3rd. So if you're in the contest right now, I know a bunch of people have been sending me DMs about, them getting their package from Dutch Bros. We're really pumped on this contest. I already seen one submission, which is fucking crazy. The first one out the gate was fire. So yeah, the competition is going to be tight, people. It's going to be tight. But yeah, July 3rd is the final day to submit your content. The final day to submit your content. So if you want to do that and make the deadline, you better be cracking on it right now because you only have a few days left. All right, cool. That's it for me blabbing. Let's get to this podcast right after the most epic intro ever created right motherfucking now.
Attention.
If you stop this podcast recording at any time, you will die.
I don't want to die.
Do you want to live?
Yeah.
You have 24 hours to share this podcast with 5 people or you will die.
I'm kidding, you won't die. You're just weak shit for not sharing.
And the winner of the best motherfucking podcast goes to...
Black with no cream.
What do you think?
It's so fucking dumb and so fucking Ben Haggerty.
I knew you would say that. And we are back with another Black with No Cream podcast. New episode every single Wednesday and Sunday. Guess who's in the house today, motherfuckers?
I am
Jakob Owens. I've had you on the hit list since I started this shit.
dope.
So that's like almost 2 years.
Yeah.
And now
hit
it's
list,
happening.
that's what you call it?
Hit list, yeah.
I like that.
I'll cross you off. You ever seen Billy Madison when he
have
glad I
not.
called that guy? You never know?
I've not seen Billy Madison. I think I went to like see it in theaters one time with my parents and they didn't realize what movie it was, or we rented it and then they realized what it was and they turned it off, or we left something like that.
Yeah.
Or that was Big Daddy.
It had to been VHS back in the day, because
yeah. So I was kind of sheltered growing up.
well, there's like this dude that he calls during the movie. He feels bad. They used to make fun of this kid in school, so he calls him and just apologizes. But the guy that he's apologizing to is now like a 40-year-old man, and he's putting on like lipstick while he's calling him, and he's just very creepy. Later ends up sniping a dude that's next to Adam Sandler and wants to kill Adam Sandler. And he looks up and he sees the guy and he just sniped this dude and didn't shoot Adam, and Adam just kind of gives him a thumbs up, and that guy gives him a thumbs up, and he's like, glad I called that guy.
Wow.
So yeah, I'm glad I called you. I'm glad I could explain Billy Madison to you.
No, I don't need to watch the movie.
No, you don't. Yeah. Welcome to the podcast, dude. How you been?
Thank you, man. Been great. Been grinding, just busy as always, but
we know.
I'm glad I can make this happen. I hit you like a week ago, tried to make it happen. You were out of town.
Yeah.
Because we linked up on the MGK shoot.
We did.
I hadn't seen you
since Chris's doc.
Yeah. So we talked about getting on then.
Dude.
Tried to make it happen last week. Didn't happen. We made it happen now. So
does this count as you moving to LA, or is this just a project?
It's just a project
endeavor.
It's just a project. I will forever be an Arizonian and will primarily live in Arizona, or say I live in Arizona. I don't like to say I live in LA. I don't like living in LA.
That's tight.
I love Arizona because it's like, one, it's where I grew up and where I'm from, and I think everyone always has usually a special tie to home.
Right.
But for me, it's so close to LA, so it's like easy to like bounce back and forth.
Yeah.
But it's like, it's kind of like my getaway, because LA can get just
Man.
crazy and hectic and wild, and it's just nice to kind of go and reset.
Right.
And I don't have to go far to do it. And Arizona's freaking great. It's really fast growing city, but there's always just so much to do, and the people are nice. I mean, it's hot, but
hot as motherfucker.
There's no humidity,
Right.
so it's not as bad. I've been Texas, Florida, all these other places during the summer. It's way worse than Arizona at 120, 100%. So
no matter what, sucks ass.
yeah,
like when I get to Arizona and I walk outside, I'm like,
just oh my
fuck,
gosh,
am I here?
Freaking baking.
Bro.
Yeah, when we were kids, we used to put like freaking eggs on the sidewalk and like watch them just.
No, it really worked?
Yeah, it works. The street, or
Damn.
you could cook stuff outside on the street, no lie.
That's fucking shitty.
I think, yeah, it's bad. But no, Arizona's home, always will be.
How long
this
is the
new
drive?
project, 6 hours.
Oh yeah, so that's not bad.
I mean, to the border, it's like 2,
Right.
but like to where I live in LA or whatever, it's like 6
Right.
and a half.
You can
probably
like get here for work quickly if you need to.
Yeah, like if something comes up, like literally, like I can be there that day, next day, whatever.
Right.
If something comes up that night and I'm there in the morning, I could be, I'm bouncing out there, or hour flight, whatever. So it's not
Super close.
bad. Yeah,
so you just got a new. We'll get into it later, but you just got a new house.
got a house out here.
Congrats.
Thank you, appreciate
Big moves.
it.
But what's dope about the house is it's not for him to live in.
No, it is my new business venture.
I like it.
Yeah.
He bought like this old retro crib.
60s, built in the 60s.
It was 60s, right?
And it hasn't like really been touched since.
Right.
And that's what I was looking for. And so I actually got a good deal on it because it was so old. So it's like,
they're like,
you get a better price. Like, because people are like, oh, I have to put like $100K into this to like remodel it, make it dope. But it's like, no, that's what I was looking for. I was looking for a house that was literally like, looks like it came out the 60s.
Yeah.
And so, but yeah, I'm just gonna like build off of that, make it like all like the rooms all like 60s themed, the living room, kitchen, etc. Like play it up, do that. But then all the extra bedrooms, turn those into like, like different studio rooms. So we have like a neon jungle room, the all gold room, a texture room,
right.
Like, and you can do all these different, have like wall flats and a photo studio out back and all these things, and just build out like this really dope peer space studio, film, photo, prop house, like just like, just like all in kind of thing. So
if you're listening, you don't know what he's talking about. It's just going to be the illest fucking photo shoot space and video space.
Come shoot there. Come shoot. Hit me up if you want to come shoot there. You know, maybe I'll give you a special deal, special pricing or something with like black and no cream or something.
Ooh,
you know what I'm saying?
I like this. I like this. Is it how can people? You probably don't have anything. You just got the
I literally just got it. It'll be up on like Peerspace, Gigster, Splacer, like all those things, and then hopefully I'll get it like officially on some like big LA like film location websites as well or whatever, but those will be the first little spots.
He's been showing me photos, and maybe Justin, when you're editing this, you could add photos if you could share some. But
I could.
He just got this fucking ill ass old like camper thing, trailer, whatever it is. That looks
it's like a
old
little
as shit.
RV, vintage RV.
You got your car. You said you're gonna put like a Mustang or something there.
Yeah, I have like a cherry red '65 Mustang. So like, again, 60s. Park that right out front. People can use that as a picture car for photos, video, shoot, whatever. So just kind of have all these different things that you can do. And we've built like you know, platforms and stuff to like shoot through, like for photo or video, but like wall flats with windows and stuff too. And so like we'll do that and house all that stuff there. So if you like want to pull one of those out, you can. If you want to rent one for a shoot you have somewhere else, you can come pick it up.
Smart.
Like I want it to be more like we have stuff there that you could also like come like rent, or if you need us to build something, we could do that too. Cause I got crafty friends and I'm pretty crafty myself. So
That's dope. Yeah. Congrats, man. That's gonna be fucking sick.
Yeah, I'm excited.
You are a fucking beast on multiple levels. All right, like not just using a camera, which is hard enough, like for most people to just master a camera, but then on top of it, direct, did I say direct? B, you can edit.
Yeah.
C, you can. You are a businessman.
Yeah.
Through and through.
Yeah.
And have multiple motherfucking businesses that crush ass. Crush ass. People, listen to what this is an important episode to listen to, because this dude has cracked the code. You've cracked the fucking code, bro.
I mean,
and you're a YouTuber technically, because you got motherfucking subs. You got subs and likes and subscribes. You make sure to like
it's funny when people ask me like, what do you do, or like what are you, it's hard to explain, because it's not like some people write like they might just be a DP and like that's what they do. I'm a DP, right? It's like someone else like, I'm a filmmaker, or I'm a director, or like I'm a set design or art director or whatever. Like it's so hard for me to be like, okay, well I have to just be like, I'm a filmmaker, entrepreneur, you know what I mean, because I do so many different things. It's hard to just not feel like I'm tooting my own horn. Well, I'm this. It's
weird, right?
So, it kind of feels weird, and it just gets long and like, okay, dude.
Every time someone asks me that, I'm like, I don't know. They're like, what do you do? And I don't like. What I want to say is, I shoot for Beyonce and Jay-Z. But then that's the weirdest shit to say to someone, and then it's like, are you trying to be cool to me? I'm like, no, that's just what I've been doing for like a long time now. Yeah. But when you do like all of your business aside,
like now I'm a real estate investor, technically.
You got properties.
So
that's what I thought was cool. I remember you posting something like every year. Was it on your birthday or something? Like you wanted, or at least every year.
It was when I bought my first house. I like set a goal for myself. I was like, every year for the next 5 years, I'm going to buy a house, which I've done so far. 2020 would be the fifth one, because that was in 2015 when I bought the first one. And then literally before I even got the key to the house, me and Futuristic shot a video out front of the house.
Really?
So I didn't even own the property yet, and we just went there and shot it. I was like, this bitch mine now.
That's fucking crazy.
And then same thing when I bought my second one. We did the same thing, like while it was under construction or whatever, we went in, because I remodeled and like flipped that one. That was like a flip project that down the road like was going to turn it in, like put money into it so it's already worth more, then Airbnb it out, and then down the road, you know, when the house is all paid off and, you know, 15 years down the road, when that area, all the home values have gone way up, sell it and make a killing. So, but I flipped that one with my mom. My mom helped kind of, you know, decorations, flip it. You know, it was the first time I'd ever done something like that, so I kind of needed a little guidance in that space. And she's very hands-on, very crafty.
My mom's the same way. Yeah, my mom and my dad are like painting the garage right now and redoing all that shit. Is the plan? So now you have 4.
Mm-hmm. Well, I actually just sold one of them literally like this couple days ago.
Oh shit!
Yeah,
that's
a couple days ago, last week.
In Arizona?
Yeah.
The one you live in?
The very first one I bought, I just sold that.
Right.
Because the market was really good right then.
Yeah.
And like I I don't know how much disclosure I should give without sounding like, weird.
No,
But I bought it for $305. I had it for, since 2015. So about 4 years, coming up on 4. I bought it like in the fall. So coming up on 4 years, and the market value was saying like around like 380, 385. So I was like, I'm going to sell that and then put all that money into either a new property or also this new one, and like just turn that into now a business for myself.
Yeah.
Because this business with the property for like filmmaking photos or whatever can be way more lucrative than like an Airbnb could. With Airbnb, there's like a ceiling. You can't like get past like a ceiling because there's only so many bookings per month because of how many people can stay there. And there's not like with a shoot, someone could rent it for 16 hours and you're getting paid for 16 hours, but like you only get paid a night, on Airbnb. It's like rent per night. So it's like, I was just seeing like the options, like, oh, there's so much more potential over here. It's such a higher ceiling with this, film photo property. Like, I'm gonna sell this one, put it into that, and then also buy like a new, like my next goal is Hawaii. So I'm putting that money into my little Hawaii house savings.
You love that motherfucking
freaking
state.
Love Hawaii.
I've been
there
never
like
been.
What?
I've never been.
I've been like 15 times.
I know
now.
You have the most insane footage there too.
Yeah,
It's just you being swollen like a fucking water hole. And I was like, look at this fucking guy,
bro. There's this photo that I took there when I went to Kauai, and I put it on Unsplash. If you don't know what Unsplash is, it's like a free photo sharing site or whatever. So anyone can like download your photos. And there's this photo of me like standing in front of this waterfall, holding my camera, and I'm just like looking up.
Yeah.
And it's literally like, I like to say that it's like the most used photo on the internet because it pops up everywhere. Like
from
literally,
people downloading it. Like,
yeah, like people using it for their Facebook ads or like memes, like with the inspirational quote on it, or like all over the place. Every day I get sent like a new thing, like, oh, there's that picture with something being used
when
for.
uploading it there that it would be like a copyright free. You're offering it for people to use.
I'm the number one most followed person on that platform now.
That's like, so dope.
But it didn't, like, the whole reason I did it is because like I would take a lot of photos, but like on my Instagram, I wasn't going to share like a landscape photo of freaking Hawaii. Like, people don't really follow me for that stuff. They follow me for film stuff. And so it was just like, I need a place where I can like share photos, but I'm not going to build a website. I don't classify myself as a photographer. So I don't want to like have I was like, where can I share my photos? And it was like 2 years ago, maybe 2.5, 3 years now. And I just found like free photo sharing sites, and I found Unsplash, and I was like, oh, this is cool the way it's laid out. And I'll just start sharing my photos. And I started sharing like gear photos from like set, travel, whatever I thought was cool that like I wanted to share and put out there, but not like necessarily throw up on my Instagram or whatever. And like all these companies started using all my gear photos for like their websites and ads and mailing list things. And like, I was in a store in B&H. I was like an ad for a hard drive. Like, they had my picture with a camera, and like I started getting. Then I was in a mall in South Africa, 20 foot by 20 with my camera underwater in Hawaii, and it was like, live adventurously, and it was like some ad for some like travel agency or whatever.
So this is the biggest hack for brands. Like, if you're a brand listening to this shit and you want free dope photos,
go to Unsplash, and you can download anything and use it for free. However, I've been put on like a gay ad with my brother, like. My brother's
you
like,
and your brother?
Me and my brother, like my brother's sitting on my shoulders, like in Hawaii again. And there's like a waterfall behind us, and like multiple times, like different like gay blogs or like ads have used it, like how to know your best friend's gay or like whatever. And it's like a picture of me and my brother. Like, it's pretty funny. Like, I don't care. People are like, bro, like you don't get mad that people are stealing your photos or using your likeness. I was like, I don't care. Like, I don't care. Like, and if anything, it's led to more opportunities for me.
I was gonna say,
if anything, has led to more opportunities, because these companies then hit me up and like ask me to do stuff for them, or like find out about me because of them using my photos. Like ShareGrid, you know what ShareGrid is? They were one of the first ones. Like I said, when I was uploading gear photos, they started downloading all my gear photos because no one on Unsplash was uploading dope equipment pictures. Like, I was one of the first people, you know what I mean? Because there wasn't like filmmakers on Unsplash for free sharing photos of their gear. So they started populating their website with it, and they reached out to me, and then I met up with them, and then I did an event with New York in New York with them with Red, and like then they let me on this one shoot. They were testing out the new Canon like cinema camera, and we've just always been close. And this stems from them finding the free photos. Yeah, and now I know both owners and have their numbers in my phone. Brent? Like
Brent. He was just on the podcast.
He was the one that reached out to me. That's dope. And so then like I've had companies just straight up like, hey, we know like these photos are free, but we'd like to pay you for your photo. And like this the dopest photo I think I've ever taken, and was on a GoPro. I was diving with sharks off the coast of Oahu. Snorkeling, not even diving. Snorkeling with sharks. Dude, it was the craziest experience ever.
Yeah, no shit. They're sharks, bro. Some dude just died in Hawaii doing that shit.
That's true.
That's crazy.
I found out about that when I was in Arizona because my brother's from Hawaii, and they were like, yo, someone just died from a tiger shark off the coast of Maui, which is where they live. But anyways, I was snorkeling with sharks, and coolest thing you can ever do in your life. Go do it. Ocean One diving off the coast of Oahu, North Shore. And they take you out there, a really small boat, like 5-6 people, because they have to like make sure they can keep an eye on you. And you drive like a couple miles off the coast, and they're just like, all right, we're here. And you can like literally see like sharks swimming below the water. And they're like, jump in. And I just remember looking at my brother and like, bro, we about to just jump in this water with sharks. Like, they're like, yeah, just jump in. And it was just like,
just jump in.
I was the first one too. And I just literally, you're like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm about to do this. And you jump in, and it was just like, poof, you go underwater, and there was like 40 sharks, and like some were big, like 10 feet. Like, and you're just like, it is the most like humbling, like just like awe experience like you can have.
Are you just
like,
bobbling at the top, or are you diving
You can dive down. Yeah, you can dive down. They're like, they just want you like, so there'll be like a person in the water with you. At first it was just me and my brother, because the other people on the boat ended up being like too scared. They didn't want to go in. And so me and my brother in there with like 40 sharks, and the person, she'll be just kind of around the boat, and you look at her and you point down, she'll give you a thumbs up. She just wants to like keep an eye on you, and you just dive down, and you're freaking however far down you can dive, it's your swimming capabilities, but you dive down, sharks all around. I have videos on either on YouTube or Instagram with me and my brother swimming with them.
Holy shit.
But I had my GoPro going back to Unsplash, and I just like went to the surface kind of, and just under the water, took a picture, because there was just like literally looking down, you're just like, I can't even count how many sharks are here right now.
Whoa,
like,
they just don't attack you?
No, they don't attack. I mean, you're not a threat to them, and they don't see you as, I mean, like they say they've said they've never had one incident ever. Like, it's just, yeah, right. But no, the crazy thing is when we were going out there, they're like, oh, by the way, like, when we're out there, like safety precaution, if you see, all these sharks, and then they just start to like dissipate and they like disappear, that means there's something bigger in the area. And I was just like, oh, snap. So the whole time I was just like looking out for these sharks, like, okay, they're still here. Because they're like, it could be a tiger. Like, that's usually what they'll get. Like, a tiger will come in, and it's a dominance thing. So like the sharks, depending on their dominance or whatever, their size and their rank, like they sit higher in the water or lower in the water. And but like if a big shark comes in, she's like, literally, you'll just notice all of a sudden the sharks disappear, and then like a few moments later you just see, you just die. It's end. Like a tiger will come in, and she's like, if you see a tiger, like hold on to the rope on the boat. You can stay in the water, but just hold on to the rope on the boat. But you can stay in the water. Like they swim down and like freaking grab on their fins and like glide with them. Like, they're crazy. They're professionals. They've been doing this their whole life. But
the photo that you got was of all the sharks? So the photo was just a little GoPro above the sharks looking straight down, and it's my favorite photo I've like ever taken, just because every time I look at it, it's probably a nostalgia thing too, right, totally. But every time I look at it, I'm just like, oh my gosh, like I did that. And it's just a really cool photo. But this company hit me up, they're like from Japan or China. They were running some campaign, and they wanted to use the photo as like their main photo for the campaign. Damn. And they're like, do you mind if we pay you $500 for the photo? I was like, no, that's the cost of the motherfucking GoPro.
Sure. Yeah. So they paid me $500, and I'd never even know or see. I've never seen the ad or anything, but like people can use it for free. But you'll have people or companies hit you up and just want to either pay you just so that they're like potentially
not
you don't
like they're covered.
Just to make sure or whatever, but you can use them for free. But I've had it lead to like jobs like that where like I meet with certain people or companies then reach out to me because they see my photos and like, oh, we'd love for you to do like photos or video. Like, we did research into you and we see all the stuff you do. Like, can you do a campaign for us? Like
right,
stuff.
Totally.
Or just someone will be like, hey, here's $50 for a photo. Hey, here's $500 for a photo. So you just never know. Like, and that's the biggest thing I've always told to like people who are like trying to come up in any industry, whether it's like, a photographer, videographer, you're freaking a painter or whatever. Like, don't get caught up in like the money early on, like, oh, like I'm not going to put my photos up here for free. Like, look at everything as a connection, potential connection, potential exposure. Like, if I would have never put my photos up on there, I would have never met all those companies. I would have never got on some of those jobs. I would have never got paid by some of those people. I wouldn't be the #1 most followed user on the platform. Like, I wouldn't that. And then one time I asked on Instagram, because I noticed like when I started picking up steam on Unsplash, that I was getting like more followers on Instagram, and I have my Instagram handle listed in my Unsplash thing. You know, it's just another avenue for exposure. And so I did a poll on my Instagram, like, hey, where have you guys found me from? Like YouTube, Instagram, Unsplash, other. And like the two biggest ones were Instagram and Unsplash. Like,
that's insane.
Unsplash was like way up there.
And I was just talking about that because that's what's so interesting is how I was talking to a friend I was talking to �K𝐈𝐴. He's booming on his YouTube now. Like, he's just been starting to get a lot of love on there. And I was like, yo, you have to treat that as something completely separate, because look at, like, you have how many people on the BWNerds YouTube channel? It's almost 800,000 subs.
Yeah, it's like 785 or something like that.
And what are you at on IG?
125.
The difference is so crazy that these people love watching you for minutes on end, but it's not like clicking, or they just don't give a fuck about Instagram. Right. That's what's so different is that all these platforms are different worlds. You know what I mean? You have to treat it like
it's like
that.
Even streaming services, you might have someone who like is all about like, you know, Netflix and watches their shows over here, but there's the show they love on Hulu, but they're not going to watch the show on Hulu. Like, I don't know. There's so many, like, you have to like again, I said it's connection, like putting as many fishing lines out into the lake as possible, right? Because it's like, if you look at like just exposure or your growth or anything from like, it's like a giant lake. Like, okay, Instagram is one fishing rod, right? You throw it out there. Well, like, you think someone who has Instagram, Unsplash, YouTube, all these lines, they're going to be able to catch more fish because they have all these opportunities to catch those fish than one single fishing line or one single rod. So it's like, just using, you know, all the different avenues you can to gain exposure, get your work out there, get your, you know, like, again, I never like was trying to like be a photographer or like get my photography seen. I just wanted a place to share like the photos that I wasn't going to share to Instagram and I thought were cool for myself.
It's a great idea.
And then it just freaking took off for me.
That's
so
crazy as fuck.
I need to get back to posting on there. It's been a while, but I'm just so busy with so many things. It's hard to like, oh, what Unsplash photos am I going to take today?
Right.
Like, so
let's just repost the fucking shark. See what happens.
Shoot. Let me tweak the colors a bit. A little hue up.
Yep.
Repost.
Before we get into right now, I want to know about how you got to where you are today. Like, growing up, creatively, what pushed you into being creative?
See, I think that's what translates into what everything that I do today is, because like when I was a kid, man, like I would freaking always be creating something. Like, I'd be drawing my own shoe collection, drawing and designing my own golf course, making a magazine for the neighborhood kids wiffle ball team that I put together. And like, we'd had 2 teams, and I'd keep statistics and put together like my own Sports Illustrated magazine. I'd film videos. I made my own board games, had them laminated. I drew my all own Men in Black card game that was like Pokemon, because I was like into Pokemon, but I was like, I want my own card game, and I just made my own game. And it was like, you would be a Men in Black agent, and that was like your player, and then you would have your aliens on your roster, and I drew hundreds of aliens and like with powers. Bro, I have them all at home. Like, it's crazy. And then I did a SpongeBob one, same thing. I did a Monopoly game. I did other board, and like I was just always creating Roller Coaster Tycoon, The Sims, building houses, building parts. Like, just I was always creating and doing stuff and moving on to the next thing. And like, I think it just carried over into my adult life. Like,
clearly,
I'm not that like I'm like ADHD or ADD or whatever, but just like I just like to always be doing something or creating things. I don't like to be stuck on one thing and like only putting my focus there. Like, I have so many ideas and I love to do so many different things that it's like, why limit myself? And I just want to like, I don't know.
Do you have siblings?
I have 2.
So
Derek and Tessa.
Were they always doing the similar shit, or was
Tessa? No, because she was like kind of the loner sister who like stayed in her room and played with her dolls and like whatever. But me and my brother would do everything with me. We'd make our little monster movies. He helped me draw some of the aliens, although his art, you know, his drawing abilities were not the strongest. So, when you're looking at the cards, you're like, oh yeah, Derek drew that one.
So it was kind of like you and your brother were like creatively active? Was it your family was like really pushing for this shit?
My mom was just like, she grew up, her mom was an artist, like a painter. And so she always like had us doing arts and crafts and painting, and just, she even taught art at our school like a couple times a week, or, you know, every once in a while, just not on like, she was brought in by the school, but like she suggested it, like, oh, you guys should have some, like an art class once a week, and I'm willing to teach it. Like one year for carving pumpkins, instead of carving them, we would go to the store and we got vegetables, and you would with like toothpicks like put lettuce on the head like it was hair, and carrots for the eyes, and like different things, and like just always had something like creative and fun to do, and was pushing us to like be creative. And like we'd build like Rube Goldberg things, cause like mess, like we were just, she didn't care if we made a mess, she just wanted us to like have fun and be creative and do what we want to do. Like really even dope. On our movies, like it's so funny, we made this little monster movie, and I asked my mom to play the part of a mom, and her son, she wakes up and her son's been mauled, and he's just like, it was my friend Nick, and he was all bloody, and it's so funny watching the home movie. She just comes out, she's like, oh my gosh, Nick, no, 911. And bro, when we watch it to this day, we just die, and she can't watch it. And but like she was like down to like helping me out. And it's hard to watch myself there too, because I was taking myself so seriously. I was like the detective, but like also like directing. And so if Derek would mess up on the camera, I'm like, cut, it's funny.
Where did you grow up? In Arizona?
Arizona.
It was in Arizona.
Tempe. Yeah.
Is that where your house is right now?
Yeah,
in Tempe?
That's where I live.
Oh,
Tempe
cool.
and Cairo. It's literally, it's so funny. It's literally like 7 houses away from my parents' house.
That's insane.
But I didn't even know. Like I just was looking for a place, and like I came across this place randomly, not even like typing in any address or anything. It just popped up in the backyard. Was like always what I've wanted out of a backyard. And then I saw like 1 or 2 pictures of the inside. I was like, I don't even need to see anymore. I was like, this is the house I want.
Yeah.
And I sent it to my mom, and I was like, this is the house that I want to go after. And she's like, you know, that's in our neighborhood, right? I was like, really? She's like, yeah, it's like literally across the street. Like
this is like the neighborhood you grew up in?
No,
Oh,
this
okay.
is where they live now. But
Yeah.
So technically I live, you know, like a minute walk from my parents' house,
Super
you know,
dope.
or whatever. So
That's awesome.
but yeah, so
I love
that's
that.
where I live.
I love how they push you, like the idea of just having an open platform to be creative.
Yeah.
Even the stuff with like the vegetables and shit. Like I feel like when I was like my friend's mom was like an arts and crafts chick too or whatever, and she would always do the same shit where we were just, I don't know, we just would be over at his house and just be doing the wildest stuff, or like making like fucking weird bracelets and doing dope shit, and it was like so fun to build.
Oh yeah.
And I think that is cool. It makes sense. Like hearing that. And then what you do now,
well, it fosters that creativity and those wavelengths, I think, in the brain that just like want to do that. Like the more you do it, I think, you know, it just kind of fosters that creativity. And I think if you grow, like if I were to grow up not having done any of that, or like kind of not pushed because I wanted to do it, but like, hey, go be creative, go do that, you know what I mean? Like, or at least the freedom to do it. You know, I don't know if I would be kind of like how I am today, you know what I mean? But I think because it was so like, just do whatever, you know, you want to do creatively, and like have fun, and like it just kind of carried over into my adult life for sure. So
when you were, I mean, at that age, and you're saying stuff like cut, and you know, you're playing director, when did you find yourself actually like starting to get into real, like, I'm gonna work, I like this?
Because we always ran around with my parents' camera filming everything. We filmed us dunking outside and making our own dunk competitions. ESPN, like I've said, Monster Movies, our own ESPN show, and like doing all this crazy Hot Wheels cars and making our own Fast and Furious movies and stuff. But it was like my sophomore year in high school, they just launched like a video class, but right before that, I think it was my freshman or sophomore year, right at the beginning, I kind of made videos and like, but with like still images on Windows Movie Maker.
Hell yeah.
And then I found out how you could like take videos from like your little digital tape camera or whatever and put it into the computer and start chopping that up. So I would do little videos at home digitally and chop up like my own little like Nike commercial with my homie and like stuff like that. And the football team knew I was doing it because, again, mutual friends and all this stuff. Like, yo, you want to make like a football commercial for the pep rally, like hype people up? And it was like, yeah, let's do it. And so we made like a Under Armour-esque like football promo for like the big game, and it played at the pep rally. And it was the first video to play at a school pep rally.
That's crazy.
At least made by a student or something like that. You know what I mean? And it played, and like everyone all day long. One got a like big, clap or whatever. Everyone was hyped, but all day long, teachers, students were coming up to me. That video was so sick. Like, you got to make videos, and this is what you should do. And that was kind of like the aha moment. Like, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do film stuff, like video stuff. Because I always liked to do it, but then it was like, oh, like this could be my job, kind of thing. And so I was in that video class with Mr. Cole. I did like video announcements and like little stuff like that. And I created a segment called Man on the Street. And it was like the segment that everyone looked forward to it was Friday on the video announcements. It'd be Man on the Street. It'd be me going around asking kids riddles and like trying to stump them and make them look stupid in front of the whole school. And so I would do like little riddles, like, like if you got a roof like this that comes to a point and a rooster lays an egg on the top, which way will it fall, north or south?
It won't.
Why?
Because it's balanced perfectly when you set it down.
Nah, bro. Roosters don't lay eggs.
God damn it, motherfucker! It looks so stupid on my platform.
So I would just do stuff like that and like BS.
Yo, that's hilarious.
And so that was like, kind of my thing in high school. And then I went to ASU for film school.
Oh, cool.
And, I just wanted to stay close to home. I didn't want to go far. And I always wanted to go to ASU too. And it was like literally like 5 minutes away from my house. So it was like, I'd be stupid not to go here.
But in high school, did you know about their film program? Like, did you?
It was relatively new. It was only like 4 or 5 years old. And it was like, okay, it wasn't like established or anything, but I knew they had it. And I was going to go there for that. Again, I'm so like, I grew up and still am such a homebody. I don't like to be far. Like, the last thing I wanted to be was like really far away for college and I wanted to be close. Like, I liked being close to home, and I had trouble staying the night at kids' houses when I was little. I'd always call my mom at late at night, come get me. Like, I just didn't. I wanted to be home, so stayed home, went to film school there, and then that's kind of where things started taking off for me in a little bit. Where I got my first little Canon HV30. It's a little tape camera DV, little mini DV or something like that, and started doing that. And then I think my sophomore or junior year is when the Canon T2i came out, and I had bought one of those and shot my first music video for Futuristic, who was my friend in high school. And then that's literally like uploaded that to my YouTube channel, started the BWFNerds YouTube channel right then, uploaded that, and that was like the start of everything.
That's fucking crazy. I didn't know he was from Arizona.
Yeah. And we went to high school at McClintock together. He was on the basketball team.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's how we knew each other and like met and then linked later on, again, like my sophomore, junior year.
Did you ever school his ass in high school, Man on the Street?
Bro, we hated each other. It's the craziest thing because he came in, I was a senior or a junior or something like that, at McClintock, and he came in as the new kid from like Illinois, Danville, Illinois, and we had open gym, and me and him, because he was the new kid and I was like co-captain or like just high up on the team or whatever, and we got into it because he was talking hella stuff. And it's funny, my dad went to everything, and he even went to the open gym, so he was like up in the stands, like the only dad, just
really
at open gym, just watching, you know what I mean? And so we get into it because he was like, yeah, that's what's up, this and that. And I'll be like, I remember saying, you got to know your place.
Ooh.
Like he was just like, what? Like, and like,
the Friday Night Lights shit.
Like, from that point, like, we hated each other. He was a grade below me, so he was on Derek's, my brother's like JV team, and I was on varsity. But our house was like the house everyone came to, and because my brother was on teammates from his team would come to the house, teammates from my team would come to the house, and there was just always, we were playing basketball and doing stuff, and so he came around enough to where it was like finally like, oh, you're cool, whatever, like squash beef. But it's not like we're like best homies or anything. But we ended up like being like, all right, you're cool, like you're straight. But and now we're like great friends, business partners. We, for years we're grinding on YouTube and putting out probably hundreds of videos, and whatnot. But it all started from a deep-seated hatred on the open court.
That's hilarious. That's so you gotta know your motherfucking place.
The closest, I've never been in a fight. I'm not like, I don't ever want to fight anyone, but the closest I've always come to being in a fight
was on
the freaking basketball court. Just on the basketball court in general, because people get heated.
They do.
And I'll never be the one to get like heated first, but if like someone's like doing or saying something, I'll be like, bro, just chill.
Yeah.
And then that take like, what you mean fucking chill?
Yeah,
like
yeah.
this and that. And then it starts something. And yeah, so
I remember going to like our rec center, and there was a kid, like I was in this weird middle stage where I was transferring from Catholic school to public school.
Yeah.
And so there was another public school that was like our rival, and I was like just transferring, and this dude from the other school who's now like, I'm super cool with him now. Like I just saw him during Christmas, and he's just like, yo, you're killing it, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Chucks a fucking basketball at the back of my head. Boom, hits me, and I'm like, what the fuck was that shit? But I'm like, I don't have squad. Like, I don't even know the kids in my public school. And I'm like, yo, fuck this dude or whatever. And I remember, like, it would happen all the time in basketball. You just want to, go against these people. It was weird. I don't know.
Yeah. Competition in general.
They should do, like, a new style. Remember when the NFL, or it was like there was like a football league? No.
Oh, okay.
XFL? And it was like, you could like fuck people up.
Yeah.
They should do that with basketball. That'd be dope.
Damn, that'd be crazy. They kind of did it with slam ball for a minute. Like you could kind of wreck people with slam ball.
But they had so many fucking pads on and shit. This gotta be bare knuckle.
Just people out there throwing punches when you get the ball, and it's just
there's like little basketballs that are concrete, and you could just chuck them at people. Anyway,
little basketballs that are concrete.
I'm crazy, bro. I'm fucking crazy.
That's funny.
So when you started working with him, right? You put the YouTube shit out. YouTube wasn't what it is right now. When you started dropping shit, were you seeing a reaction to your content, or was it just within the school and you were like sharing stuff that way?
Not right away, but pretty close, because it was right after that I worked with my guy who was a quarterback for ASU. His name's Samson, who's a good friend to this day. He was doing music, and he saw the first video I shot for Futuristic on Mill Ave, which is by ASU and whatnot, and we did a video. And then he told me about this kid. He's like, yo, man, there's this really dope kid from California, Ventura, California. His name's Kyle.
Right.
And he goes by KID. He doesn't have any videos or anything, but he's dope. Like, they're like from like basically the same neighborhood. So I reached out to KID or Kyle on Facebook and was just like, yo, I'm coming to Cali with Samson to shoot a video. Like, would be down to like shoot, like, I love your music, what Samson showed me, I'd love to shoot some videos for you. And I went to Cali, literally met up with Kyle outside his house on the front of his street. It's like, hey, I'm Jake. He's like, hi, I'm Kyle. I was like, you want to shoot a video? And just shot a video called
right then and there,
right, or just walking down the street, just going backward. It's called We Can. And that was the start. Then we did like the Lemonade video, the fall, like started doing all these videos, keep it real. Well, that was a little later, but we just shot tons of videos and I put them all up on my channel. But that's when we did a video, Lemonade. It was like a remix to that Orange Juice or Lemonade by Gucci Mane or something like that. And that one like kind of took off. And then the YouTube channel started popping for like music videos and independent artists and like just dope filmmaking stuff, kind of like videos, like cool videos and stuff. And like then I'd work with other artists and like David Morris at the time, DY, and Sam King, SK, and like other artists. And it kind of became a cool like independent music video platform early on. And that's when it started taking off pretty quickly. And I got into beef with my teachers in film school.
Because of it?
Because I was ditching class like to go shoot videos like in LA or whatever, and they're like, I could fail you right now, like, and I was like, I'm doing what I came here to do. Like, it was crazy. I didn't have a good film school experience, and it's just some wild stories. Like the one I have to tell. So again, that professor called me into his office hours, told me he could, fail me because I wasn't following his curriculum. And I was just like, yo, like I'm getting like hundreds of thousands of views on YouTube. I'm getting paid to make music videos. Like this is what, I came here to do. And he's like, yeah, but you're not following, like blah, blah, blah. He's like, I could literally, I'm not kidding you. He said, I could send your stuff to 5 directors I know right now, and they would all say it sucks.
Whoa.
Those were his words. And like, I just remember thinking like, okay, go ahead. Like, it doesn't suck, or I wouldn't have. And I remember that I was like, so then why do I have 300,000 views on this video? And like, I showed him the video. He was like, wait, what? And like backtracked and like said, I don't know. And so we had like beef.
Fucking bitch.
And so like the alternative to making your film for the like your senior project was to make 3 music videos, and no one was doing that. Was like the alternative look down option. Like you make a film, you don't make it. Right. And I was like, I'm just gonna turn in 3 music videos that I'm freaking getting paid for.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
So I was like, screw this. So that's why I wasn't like following his curriculum. And when we ended up showing like our final projects or whatever, he ended up apologizing, saying they were really dope. I think it was Sam SK4MC highlights, DY New York Times. I forget what the other one I turned in was, but those were like You can still find those on YouTube. But I turned those in. He apologized, you know, and I think even like a couple years ago, he's reached out to me multiple times on Facebook, like, hey, would love for you to come speak to my directing class. I bet you fucking
would, bro.
Yeah, and I've never responded. And he literally messaged me one time. He's like, oh, my student's too good to like respond to me now or something like that.
Yeah, dude, like, you're the reason why people give up on shit.
Right, right. And that's what I said. I said, what if I would have been like that super like impressionable kid that was like, oh man, maybe it isn't that good, or I do suck.
That's most motherfucking people.
Right. Like, but I was so confident in what I was doing, and I was seeing success, but I knew like the end goal and what I wanted to do. And I was like, I don't suck. Like, you know, otherwise I wouldn't be getting views or pay. So
that's so fucking shallow.
That could have ended my career low key if I would have been that type of person that was just like, he's right, I suck. Like,
it's crazy that these people are put in place to be the people that you're supposed to look up to for at least 3 years, whatever, however long you're in the program or whatever.
And you hear stories like that all the time too. I've heard stories from other people like that too. It's crazy.
I'm down for like a hard mentor that's like gonna make you work and this isn't your best work. Do it again. And you're like, fuck.
I'll never tell someone like, yo, this sucks or you suck. You'll never make it.
No, there's just different ways you could do this.
And you never know how someone's going to improve or progress. Like, and so to just shoot someone down, cut them off at the legs like that, as a teacher specifically, not even just like as another human being who's a troll or like hating, but like a teacher who's, you know, teaching you or trying to coach you through life and school, like to say that is kind of mind-boggling to me. So
hey guys, I just wanted to take a quick moment to, you know, stop this amazing episode. Shout out to Jakob Owens again for hopping on here. I'm really proud of how many solid guests we're getting on this podcast. But I just want to remind you guys again that our new How to Charge a Client guide is now available online. So if you guys want to get that, shop BWNC.com. We're super proud of this guide. It's incredible. I feel like it's very, 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 very fucking helpful. There's a lot that I think you guys will learn and benefit from when reading this. So if you want to get that guide, it's available on shopbwnc.com. It should be right there on the homepage waiting for you to click on that. So check it out. Let us know what you think, and let's get back to this Jakob Owens interview. I had a friend on here. His name's Travis Loy. He's like a public speaker. He grew up in foster care and like is an advocate for that shit. And one of the things I used to tour with him in Iowa, and whenever he'd speak like in all the cities or whatever we'd fly to, I would just film like videos of him or whatever before I moved out here. And the one thing he would say is like, it's damn, I just totally fucking lost it. The one thing he'd say was something about not cutting someone down or someone teaching. Damn, what the fuck is the one thing? I love this line that he said. Do you remember what it was? It's one person. Maybe is like, he says it cooler than that, but it's all about, it's like one person can like make or break everybody, right?
Yeah,
and for him, everyone would always tell him like, yo, because he grew up in foster care, he didn't have any guidance, whatever. It was like very rogue. They're like, you're gonna be dead or in jail before you're 18. And he got done. He had probation because he did some illegal shit or whatever it was in probation, did all of his community service, did all this stuff, and actually started turning a new leaf. Like he was working for the city, he felt good. And the last day, the officer dude wrote like was like signing off on the papers and gave it to his like aunt or whatever. And he handed it off to the aunt. He goes, "We'll see you here in a couple of weeks."
No way.
And he was like, "What the fuck?" Like he felt like very charged up. And then this dude was like, "See you soon." And like that one person like changed his whole mental. Like it changed everything that he had just learned from a person that's supposed to say like, "Yo, go be the best version of you." And then he talked about later on, like another teacher wrote,
"See you soon."
Yeah, grabbed him out of this school and like gave him an applause for being like the best student or the most like achieved student through that year. It was like, we just always do this. We just want to tell you you're killing it. And like that changed his whole life. And you never know who's going to fucking shift your mental, bro. Like that's so fucked that teachers do that shit. That's fucked. That's so fucked to me. I hate that shit.
Yeah. I've had, I had more experiences like that in film school too. So it's just, it's interesting. But
so having struggled with that, like clearly you took a rogue route, which in my opinion was the best route possible for you. And I think one thing that school systems lack is real world experience. But how crucial?
That's what I always tell people.
Yeah, like
just go get the experience. You don't need film school. Because I have people messaging me and be like, "Yo, should I go to film school?" And it's like, if you have the money and the resources and it's not going to like be a burden to you, sure, go do it. Like, because you never know what connections you'll make or what you'll learn. But if you're like, if you have to struggle to make it happen, no, just go get that real world experience. Try and message people, get on set, make connections, because like it's all it takes. Like, I've had people who reach out to me who then like have done stuff for me and then connect with other people and are like killing it now and doing great and didn't go to school or whatever. And so it's just it just depends on your situation.
Totally.
You know what I mean? So
yeah. So when you started growing your channel, right? What
Right.
I think is super cool, what you've been able to do, and I think this is something that this is going to be the shift to me, in my opinion, is creating content, right? So you're directing every day out here, every artist wants a video and they always want to spend the least amount of money on that shit.
yeah.
Hey, we don't have very much money, blah, blah, but we want a bunch of fucking ideas to come out of this fucking
Right,
$20,000 budget or some bullshit. What I think is cool is that you have found a way to, and so did Cole Bennett, right? With this
Right.
Lyrical Lemonade
Right.
shit. You've built a platform where it's also a distribution platform where you can upload and do a video. And in my mind, what I've always thought, or at least I use you as an example, but I just guess what your way of doing it was like, all right, cool. If this artist doesn't have a lot of money, it is what it is. I'm still going to make the video. I'm going to make it happen. But I get to put it on my channel where I can reap the rewards of ad revenue, and you can maybe do, I don't know, whatever.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I did early on. Like, Futuristic was never paying me for videos.
Right.
I ended up getting paid on the back end, like when the channel started popping and I started getting all the ad revenue. Same thing with like Kyle. Kyle didn't have money to, be paying me for videos, and he was just a 16-year-old kid. Like, you know what I mean? So,
and if you don't know who Kyle is Super Duper Kyle.
Yeah,
And he
Super
just
Duper
had one of
Kyle.
the biggest fucking hits on the radio last summer.
I spy with
My little eye. Yeah.
Yeah, Kyle. Love Kyle.
Yeah, catchy as fuck.
Homie for life.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and same thing with him, and then some of these other artists. Like, if like I would do like discounted rates at least, or something, and then it goes on my channel. But it got to a point where they just wanted to put it on my channel because of how
The
much
platform.
like traffic was going there and the platform, and to be associated with the other artists and people on there, and that was I ended up doing really well for myself off that.
But I don't think I think maybe like, okay, yeah, that's one way to do it, is to have the platform, which is a challenge to build. But I think that the new
and it's
shift,
harder now for
Super
sure.
hard.
The
But-
fact that Cole Bennett's done it today is like huge, like
Super
that's
huge.
Because if you every artist is trying to build their own brand and platform, so like how do you just build from nothing and get artists to put their videos on your
Right.
channel? And like now there are so many artists and so many videos and everything on a daily basis. How are you going to get the views to those videos? You know what I mean? Like to where you're getting enough money, on the back end, like, and to make up for your time and whatnot. So it's like, I'm not going to say it can't be done today, because I'd never say that, but it's definitely way harder than it was even friggin' 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah.
So
I feel like maybe one route is like a respect the shooter move that everyone needs to try to push on the content side, creating content for the artist. But in the sense of, I still am mind boggled, right? Like when, I remember we did like a Chris Brown music video, and it was like, it was cheap. It was like, it wasn't cheap. He was the featured artist, and it was like 30,000 probably or some shit, right? You do this video, $30,000. Everyone is bending over backwards to make this video fucking happen and make it like come to life. And and then the video drops, and the video gets 1 billion views. And I'm sitting there thinking, all right, everyone has done enough research to know somewhere in between 2,000 to like 7,000 is the average ad revenue you make on 1 million views, right? And that motherfucker got 7 billion views. So why was the budget 30?
That small. Yeah.
Why is it that?
Right.
And then why does the fucking producer that wrote on that shit, the engineer that wrote on that shit,
the one-off fee,
they get their like 10%.
Bro, I've talked about that all the time. Like, because producers are different. Like on music producers, like they can get back ends of
royalties,
like, the sales and royalties.
Yeah, of course.
Video people don't freaking get that,
and they're cool with it. No one's thinking like, why the fuck is the producer
for the longest
doing that?
time, I've been like, this is such a problem and such an issue, because it's like you bend over backwards to do this one-off fee that you get, and that's it, and you don't get any back end from your creation,
bro.
You know,
if you put out if you produce one song and you got like a fucking sliver of that pie, and that becomes like a #1 bestseller, and it gets millions and millions of impressions or whatever, people buy houses from that shit immediately, like one song.
Well, Kyle even said it in one of his lines, like on the I forget what song off the album, Space Moon something or whatever, and he says like that was all the homies just bought whips, and that was just off one hit or something like that. You know what I mean? Like
one hit.
Yeah.
Like but what the fuck? Like what the fuck? 1 billion views times say 3,000 on average.
Yeah.
Do the math. I don't know what it is.
I don't know
a shit
either.
ton of money. Way more than 30,000.
Yeah.
Way more than your 5% rate or your 10% that you get from the budget as a director or whatever.
It's a problem.
It's unreal to me, and it fucking
It's
frustrates
a
me.
problem.
But all right, anyway, that's just a rant.
Yeah. I feel you though.
Going-
I feel the passion behind that rant.
Right?
Yeah. I feel you, brother.
I think we got to build like not a union, but like a little coalition where we fucking change the game of that shit.
The two starting founding members right
Let's
here.
go hammer. Okay, sorry, dude. I'm so
All good,
fucking
man.
pissed.
I could tell, man. You're flushed right now.
But yeah, anyway, we could talk about that for fucking hours. So, okay, so you started directing for those dudes, right? When you build, like, when did you hit your first 100,000 subs?
Dude, I don't even know. Yeah, I don't know. It was. I have no idea.
No?
I wish I would have kept track.
It wasn't
of that
like
stuff,
a monumental, like, oh, we did that shit, right?
I the one thing I do remember was getting my first like YouTube check from like Google AdSense or whatever, and it was only like the very first one I got, and it was like $250, and I just remember going, oh shit, what? I got $250
Yeah.
from freaking YouTube, like for posting videos that I wanted to make, like, you know what I mean? Like, so that was like the very first one. And then that kind of also sparked a thing. And I was just like, yeah, I'm gonna keep this going. And
so were you, before you started other businesses, were you focused on trying to build up your views and shit to try to make more money? Like you were kind of starting to calculate
like at one point, yeah, I was like, oh, let's, you know, like definitely like, let's shoot some stuff. Let's do this. I want to work with this person or whatever. But it was always like a side thing as well. You know what I mean? It wasn't ever just like my main goal. I always looked at it as just like another stream of, you know, business, income, opportunities, whatever, but I'm still going to be focused on all this stuff over here too.
Right.
And I never like fully counted on that. Like some people might've been like, oh, I'm only going to like focus on YouTube or only do this. And I always kind of like was like, at some point that's going to die down or it could stop or the money drop way off. And if I'm turning down all these other gigs that aren't for my YouTube channel, then what happens when that work potentially stops and YouTube stops? Then I'm screwed, because then I've kind of burned those relationships or just haven't upkept them or done jobs, and now this is done. So I don't know. I was always pretty calculative of you know, not putting all my eggs into one basket and being aware of like, yo, things don't last forever kind of thing. So
So did that
and
lead,
it didn't, you know, at some point, like all the artists that I was working with were getting signed, and then, you know, they're going on their own channels or Vivo or whatever. And then, you know, it just got to a point where it's like, it's no music videos don't go on there anymore. Now I just use it as like a filmmaking platform to inform people, do like helpful videos, you know, reviews or behind the scenes content of my projects that I am doing or hired for. And like, so now it's more like a filmmaking based creative business as well, business and entrepreneurship, talking about like the different things I do with my houses and just outside of filmmaking too. So now it's more that, and it's not really about music videos anymore.
Do you see yourself ever putting music videos back on there?
If I'm allowed, you know what I mean? Like,
what do you mean?
Like if the artist gives me the go ahead, like if I do a video for Futuristic and he puts it on his channel, and then like 2 weeks later I'm like, yo, can I throw it on mine? Like, sure. But again, I don't see revenue from that, because now it's being claimed, you know what I mean? That song. So it would have to be like some independent artist who isn't claiming their music via like through whatever, you know, TuneCore or YouTube, and like, but I would have to like pop them off, or they would have to pop off for that to like do anything for me. And I have just so many things going on right now that it's just not worth my time to like try and build an artist or build that up from ground zero again. I'd rather focus on all the other opportunities, businesses, and, you know, and endeavors in front of me over here.
Totally.
So,
So what was your first company that you started outside of filmmaking? Like,
I was gonna say my production company would be BWNerds, BWNerds Media, which turned that, but then Tropic Color, I guess, would be technically like the first.
Is that the one that you like low key hid that you owned?
Yeah, I hid that for a long time because I didn't want my name associated with it, in the sense of like people who may be like salty at me or like envious or hateful, like, oh, I'm not going to support this. This is Jake's stuff, like, or look at me as like not a professional. Because I feel like I get that sometimes, because I do inform people on YouTube and like make YouTube videos. People are like, oh, this guy he isn't a professional, so like stupid. You know what I mean? Like, and so I didn't want like people associate. I just wanted it to be successful in its own right, because the products were dope and they were good. And then be like, haha, it's me. Gotta pop like, out.
Unsubscribe.
So
return. When's the return?
How can I return this product? Like, because I've seen like early on, I saw a lot of big names. Like I see the orders coming in, you know, through our, you know, either PayPal website, the you know, analytics coming through, and I'd recognize names like buying our products, and I'd be like, oh, I know you.
That's
Like,
dope.
I would never say anything like publicly or like to them, but I was like, I don't think they would have bought that if it was like Jakob Owens' product. You know what I mean?
Right.
And then like I think a year down the line, after a year in, I was like, yo, it's me and Tom, guys.
What was the purpose of exposing?
Just to it was at that point, it was successful and it was good, and like it was doing well, and it was like somewhat respected. And so I was like, okay, now I can come out and be like, hey, this is me behind it. You know what I mean? And then use my extra bit of like, oh damn, because a lot of people, you know, they follow me for stuff, and if they want to support me, and if they knew, maybe there was a lot of people who weren't purchasing from it, but now because it's like, oh, this is Jake's company, boom, I'm gonna support him. I'm gonna get this stuff. Everything he does is dope or whatever. So it was kind of that extra bit of like, yeah, like I'm behind it, you know, kind of thing.
Totally.
But yeah, I just wanted to kind of like not be like, hey guys, this is my new company. I just wanted it to be successful on its own without being attached to me before being like, yeah, it's me. So
do you think that having put in the effort to build that without anyone knowing who you are, but like what you did was cool because you'd always make it look like you were sponsored by them, or you were like,
I was like an ambassador.
Yeah. How did you see? I don't know. What'd you do? Like referral codes or something at the time?
I had like a referral code. So it'd be like, yo, use Jacob 20, save 20% off any Tropic Color products. Like they make the best products in the game. That's what I would
so
like do.
Fucking smart.
Yeah.
I love that shit.
So
it's
that's what I
so
would
dope.
do.
So then having a production company, right? What I think is cool what you do is you are the king of BTS.
Yeah.
Like you have
Appreciate that.
always something that shows what you just did.
Right.
Like, which is fucking fly. Like you've built like an army of people that work with you. And like the BTS isn't garbage shit. It's like fire BTS, which I think is cool because then, like you said, you find these people and then they grow on to do dope shit.
Yeah, 100%.
And
like
I
a lot
feel
of these people who have done BTS for me are doing awesome things now. You know what I mean? Have gone on or met, like Jordan Wozy was the very first person who he hit me up on Instagram and wanted to do BTS for a couple of my shoots. I had him do BTS. Futuristic was looking for like a tour videographer, photographer at the time. I was like, yo, there's this kid who's doing BTS for me. He's pretty good with the camera. Like he went on like 2 or 3 Zach's Futuristic's tours, then Machine Gun Kelly's tour, and boom, you know what I mean? So it's like, but freaking he's doing BTS for me when he started.
But I love it because he was on the podcast and he like told that whole story. And
oh, really?
I think that's super valuable because it's like, you never know how that's going to...
That's what I'm saying. It's connections and getting out there. It's the real life experience, and that you can't get that from film school. You know what I'm saying?
But like, okay, you just connecting him with whoever at the time, he goes on and does XYZ, and then what was the last video I just saw you on was Machine Gun Kelly's video, which he was like running a bunch of shit, and you were BCam, and you do know Andrew, but like if say you didn't, you probably still would have been at Avic, and you did Waz's video for the other MGK video,
the Hollywood
horror, yes,
with my new filter,
plug it
kaleidoscope filter.
But literally, you came in and
Prism
shot
just
that filter,
specialty camera, just for those like kind of trippy visuals. They wanted to get like the DP Taylor Randall wanted to get like trippy, and he was just like, yo, like does your new filter fit on like 105 millimeter anamorphic lens? I was like, no, like we only make it 77 millimeter. I have like step up, step down rings, but I was like, I can bring it in on my Sigma like Cine lenses and run it on my Red as like specialty cam, shoot 8K, like that should be plenty of enough information for. He's like, yeah. So showed up there. I didn't even know Waz was directing it until like he told me the day before. He was like, oh, by the way, here's the treatment, see you tomorrow. And I saw it said like, you know, treatment by, really, and I was like, oh, that's pretty crazy.
Yeah,
so,
that is crazy.
But yeah, showed up, shot like specialty camera, trippy visual effects with that. It was like the first time I had used the effect on like the filter on a video, and then we launched pre-order a little before that. But yeah, that's what I have to, after this, I have to go down to the warehouse and send all those pre-orders out because we're finishing up making all those right now.
Nice.
So yeah, I'm excited that for that stuff. It's fun to just create freaking things, dude. It's funny, I have people ask me, and also like Tom's friends ask him like, yo, like how's Prism Lens Effects doing? Like, you enjoy it? You like it? He's like, yeah, like it's dope to like get a break from doing this all the time and go over here and make something with your hands and create something that you see people out there in the world using. Like seeing all these orders coming from China and Japan and Germany and Australia, and people all over the world want to buy your product you made and use it for their content. So sick. There's nothing doper than that.
So
like,
sick.
Period. Like, so it's fun.
Who can you talk more about him, Tom?
Yeah,
like,
so Tom he DPs. That's like his main thing. And I met him when I like first moved here, like probably 2 months in, maybe a month in, I don't know. And he had just picked up a Red camera, like Red Raven at the time, 4K. And like I had him shoot a video for me, and we like clicked, and we were like cool, and he just shot, like DP'd everything from there on out for me.
Oh, dope.
And we just became really good friends, and like we've just forever, we've, you know, as we've shot throughout the years, we've had ideas. Like I still have so many ideas for things, but anytime we come up with an idea for something, it's like, yo, let's build it, let's make it, let's turn it. Like that's where Tropic Color came from. That's where Prism Lens Effects came from. It's where some of these other things we have on the horizon come from. That's
So he's
where
your partner in all this shit.
Area Stock came from. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
so all
crazy.
of them, like me and him just team up on all of it and just do it.
He lives out in LA?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. He lives out here. He's very like, he's just, yeah, but he's a DP, but he's great on, you know, just like, again, very, very crafty dude. He's smart dude. And just good person too.
Right.
Like that's the other thing. You want to team up with people who have the drive and hunger that you do. Cause that's where like, otherwise you end up like doing all this work and this person's kind of reaping off of that or not pushing it to where you could go if you guys both had, like we both push each other. We both work really hard, but he's also just a really good dude.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
that's important too. It's someone that you can like trust, and especially when you're going into business together, like, you know what I mean?
Right.
It's super
Super
important. Yeah. So
how important is it to create several different avenues of revenue?
it is the most important thing you can do, I think. Cause like at the end of the day, like I said, like at some point something is going to stop, like or end, in my opinion. And a good example I look at, you know, you have these people who work for companies in 9 to 5, and one day that company shuts down, they're out of work, they're out of job, they lose their home or whatever because they don't have something else to back up. And I look at even my uncle. My uncle was directing. I didn't know this till I was late, like 18 or 19. He was a director in Hollywood, second unit director on Mummy Returns, Van Helsing, big movies. And by the time I found out and was old enough, I went on the movie for 2 weeks or a week and a half, G.I. Joe. It was like $250 million budget.
Like the one like 5 years ago?
Yeah, I met like Channing Tatum and all that. He was the Marlon Wayans and stuff, and I was on set of this huge studio, like huge movie, and he was doing movies like that, and then one day it just stopped. And like now he teaches at Azusa Pacific, and he's a great filmmaker, but it's like he didn't have anything else, and so he was out of work for a while and then had to get that job. But like he was working heavy in the industry for, I don't know, maybe 15, 20 years, maybe more than that,
right.
Honestly, actually, because he got into it right out of USC film school and was just in it. And one day it stopped. And so, and it's just good for a peace of mind too, for me, knowing like, okay, I can choose what jobs I want to choose.
Right.
But then also like, if I choose to do no jobs and I want to go to Hawaii for 2 weeks, I have money coming in that I don't have to do anything for. I can sit back and I won't say don't have to do anything for, because I still will do like Instagram marketing or posts or like work on or whatever little things, but relatively like I don't have to take these jobs if I don't want to, and I can go do this and go on vacation and literally still be making money.
Yeah.
Because I have multiple streams. And so it's like, one, for the security of like your future, if something ever stops, your main source stops, you have at least something else to supplement it until you come up with something else, or, you know, or can rebounce back, or just, you know, just to, yeah, just constantly be bringing in something so you can do whatever you want to do. That's why we were able to do Prism Lens Effects, and like, because it's like, it was a lot of work to get up and running, and if we, you know, we could stop doing a lot of jobs to like get that up and running to the point, because we had Tropic Color doing well, you know what I mean? So it's like, you can do what you want to do if you have different streams coming in. And so like, I always tell people like, try and like get into affiliate marketing, get into like pushing other people's products if you like it. Like, don't feel like you're a sellout for like, you know, like being an ambassador for another company. Like, that's how you build the future you want, you know what I mean? Because you can do whatever you want, or put all your energy to something, because you're able to have, you can stop what you're doing but still have stuff coming in, so you can focus on what you want to do. You want to make a movie, now you can put your money into the movie and spend time making your own little movie, because you have something coming in on the back end. But if you only have one source, and that one source is working a day job or working a day rate, you know it's hard to kind of stop everything and do something you want to do. You know what I mean? It's tough.
No,
so
I love that, man.
As much as, you know, that's always my biggest advice. Try and find like, you know, build something, create something for your future, like multiple revenue streams, cast as many lines out into the lake as possible. Like, I don't know. I'm able to do what I want when I want. And that's all just because of, you know, building the different streams and stuff, real estate, like, you know, and that's what I look at that as my retirement too. Like this house that I just bought, hold on to that till it's paid off down the road when the Cali market's up even more, and it's like it's all paid off, and I decide, oh, I'm gonna sell this thing and I can make just a huge chunk of money just from selling this house. Boom, there's my retirement. Because when what we do, there's no 401k or this or that. So it's like you have to think like that. Like, and I don't know if a lot of people do, or just it's hard work too. You know what I mean? It's not just gonna just like happen and fall into your lap. So
well, I think it's what's interesting, especially like talking about not having a retirement fund, not having insurance, all this shit. You have to invest in all that stuff, right?
Yeah.
And what I see happen to a lot of people out here that aren't thinking the way you're thinking. I feel like you're a huge motivation for me, especially with Black with No Cream. As we try to build this from just me trying to be like, oh, I have a lot of cool friends that do dope shit, I should talk to them. Like, all right, cool. How can I actually turn this into something that can help educate creators? You know what I mean? Now looking at the way you do it, I'm like, yo, the way you move with all these different endeavors is so sick to me, and it makes too much sense because people get pigeonholed all the time into doing one thing, right? And like you said, it can end tomorrow. You know what I mean? Like people were on Vine, fucking living their full life, fucking making dumb money, and then all of a sudden, boop, it's gone. You know what I mean? It's just gone. And if you didn't move your fans to somewhere else, you're fucked.
Right, 100%.
I think the way you strategize that and the way that you've been able to, you know, level up in multiple ways is setting you up for a long future, obviously, and that shit can just keep getting bigger, but having that umbrella is so key. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because what if my uncle, like there's so many like new people being introduced to video all the time and like becoming new directors and whatnot. Like what if one day I'm no longer cool to like direct a video? Like, oh, your content's not dope anymore, or like there's just the newer, cooler, hotter
you just
cats,
do hot music videos for hot Instagram models, and then all of a sudden you're 45 and you're fucking creepishly shooting I don't know, arsenic fucking Instagram videos. Right. What the fuck?
But what if no one's booking me anymore, like for videos, and it's like, shoot, that's how I was making my living. Like, what do I do now? Well, I already got all this other stuff, so I'm good. Yeah, you know what I mean? And then I can find another new way to make some money. But like, if you don't have that other thing, it's like a scary thought. And so like even so early on, I remember when I was at the height of me making money on YouTube, I never spent that money. I always saved it because I was like, YouTube could die one day, or I could like stop making money. Like, what if something happens? So my mom, because I remember my mom was saying something, I was like, no, I don't want to ever think of that money as like money in my bank, like of like I have that to spend, like that's going somewhere where I'm not going to touch it. Because you hear so many stories of like even just like celebrities, athletes, they're popping, they're killing it in the NBA or whatever, they're making all this money, they're blowing it on cars, clubs, this, boom, knee injury, out, like cut, boom, now they're freaking working a bar somewhere in Chicago. You know, you just don't know. And so I even said that early on when I was still living at home before I moved to LA. Or maybe it was like right on the cusp, and I was like, no, like every month I pretend like that's just extra, right? Like I don't like take that money like, oh, I'm gonna go buy a chain now, or like the new whip or whatever. Like I would never do that. No, I was always like,
you look like you purchase things that have a purpose and a longevity. You know what I mean? You own Red. How many do you have? One Red camera. And the reason I bought that, well, the reason I bought that it wasn't even to freaking. I just wanted, like, I was shooting so much all the time. I just wanted at the drop of the hat to shoot whatever I wanted to shoot. Like, I wanted to have a camera for it and not to have to be like, yo, are you free? Like this and that. Like, I just wanted to, whenever I wanted to shoot something, I could shoot it, you know, because my career goal is not to be a DP. Right. Like, although I do it, that's how I came up shooting my own stuff, and I know how to, and I'm good at it. Like, that's not like, oh, my end all career be all like, I'm gonna get a camera and start getting hired for DP. I just wanted to shoot whatever I wanted to shoot whenever I wanted to shoot it. And that's the reason I bought that camera. So, but it also can pay for itself.
Yeah. And then obviously. It's an investment as well, because I remember as soon as I bought it, like, and like announced that I had it or whatever, like I was getting hit up for a lot more DP jobs than I ever was before, because people want camera people that are like owner operators. You know what I mean? That like have their own shit. They don't want to have to hire you and then have to go like pay at a rental house to like rent a camera. You know what I mean? Today more so than ever. Like years ago, that was probably more so the thing because they weren't as accessible to like the general population. But now it's just like you're not getting hired unless you own the camera. Yeah, which like is tomorrow tough. I'm doing a video for the Goo Goo Dolls.
What?
Yeah, random, super random. But they asked me to like, yo, do you have a second shooter? And I was like, yeah. And they're like, oh, make sure he has his own camera. Like that it's like
we're not renting.
Yeah, we're not renting a camera. So I was like, all right, yeah, but I got people that do that, but I'm going to hit people up that are owner operators. Like I'm not going to hit up someone that's like a dope DP or a dope at shooting, but doesn't have a camera. So
Which
it's
is
like
crazy.
it's just the new wave.
It
dude.
is. It's the same
crazy.
thing as like picking. I remember like picking girls for music videos, and if they didn't have following, they
Right.
didn't get the cover.
Right.
They'd be gorgeous and they'd fit the role perfect, but you didn't have the following.
you
And it's
wanted
like
the promo.
fuck, man,
Yeah.
that's crazy.
Yeah.
But it makes sense because shit's cheaper, and they need to. You know, you kind of have to. I think it's good though. I think people are starting to understand that investment's worth it. You know what I mean? Like, some people literally just
100%.
hire you for your camera,
Yeah.
and then you just happen to know
I've
how to
done
run
it, like whether they have talent or not, like we just need that second camera, and it's like, shoot, like you got a camera, you're on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like show
We have
up.
too.
Like, so yeah.
It's easier. It's like it's just easier. Like we're in a time where people are cool with throwing some shit on their credit card, and then hopefully if they're smart enough, they can make that money back.
See, I'm the opposite. I buy everything I do with cash.
Smart.
Like, other than how a house is a little different.
That's that Dave Ramsey
Dave
mentality.
Ramsey always talks
My
about
mom's
that. That's the
pushing me
only
hard.
thing. Yeah. But literally, like when I bought my Mustang, cash. Red, cash. Like everything that is not a house, I make sure I have the cash and buy it, because I don't want to pay that interest over time. And like, what if I'm take the chance that I'm not getting like, and I'm paying extra, or like I can't pay it off. Like you just, I personally don't want that opportunity of like being potentially fucked in that way. So yeah, literally the only thing like I'll like do with that is like buying a house. But yeah, it's I don't listen to Dave Ramsey, but my girlfriend listens to him. Like every time I get in the car and she's like driven it before, I like turn on the car.
Loud as fuck.
It's just Dave Ramsey on the radio when I turn it on.
Now this is why you want to buy a car in cash, okay, guys? This is my mom listened, but she was just putting me on a bunch of Dave Ramsey insight. I was like, okay, shit.
Yeah, she's always talking about him and stuff. It's funny. Yeah.
When I was gonna move with Andrew and way out in the valley, I was like, fuck, I gotta get a car, because I drove my shitty ass high school car out here.
Yeah.
It's like dead as fuck. It doesn't work. I'm like, I need to get a car if I live out in the boonies. And then I was like, all right, I gotta lease, I gotta do all this shit. And I was like, YouTube.
Yeah.
He's popping up and just spilling his guts, and I'm just like in the shower, like washing my hair, like, this dude's smart. This dude's smart as fuck.
Yeah.
He just told me why not to lease a car. Like, fucking genius. All right, cool. But
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a good resource too. Listen, I mean, I don't know enough to like recommend that, but I know enough people to like praise him or what he talks about. So I guess go check that out.
See if I should get him on the podcast. That'd
be crazy. Dave Ramsey.
Yeah, shout out to the goat of this shit. Okay, so I feel like I covered a lot of this shit, dude. Industry jump.
Industry jump.
Talk about that. Do you have so many businesses? Fuck.
Yeah, aerial stock too. If you need the most affordable and dopest aerial stock footage on the internet, aerial stock.
How are you collecting that?
It's done per sale. Each clip is sold $25 each, no matter what. It doesn't matter the clip. So it's like
user submitted,
and then they get a percentage if their clip sells.
That's dope.
And that's it. But like, there's just too much. Like, bro, like everything that I've done or created comes from and that's where the best, like, I think inventions or ideas come from necessity, right? You see like a problem or like something that you need a solution for, and it's like, oh, this doesn't exist, like I need to create that. And it was like aerial footage. It was like someone would be like, yo, we need like an intro shot of LA, and to hire a drone operator wasn't in the budget, but to go buy a single clip for like an 8-second like kind of clip would be like $300-400. I'm like, bro, what? No, like that's too much money. And then like YouTubers, like if they want to have like there's high school kids are getting younger and younger with cameras and YouTube videos, and like if they want to have an aerial clip, there's no way for them to get it unless they own a drone, or like they're not going to buy a $200-300 clip online. So it was like, yo, let's try and like just user submitted clips, every clip $25, everyone can afford it, like unlimited rights, usage, whatever. And like if you're down to submit and be a part of that, cool. And we still have some work to do with that we're just so many places right now that we haven't really been able to dive into that one fully. But like I think it's a good idea, just in this vein of like, there's not really something, and it's just aerial stuff. It's not just like stock footage in general, like because so many of these stock footage websites you go to, and it's just like hundreds of thousands of clips, and it's all spread. Like you just need aerial footage, just come here. That's all we do. Aerial footage you need. And so
what's your strategy with all these businesses when it comes to marketing? Like say an aerial site, I would assume it's very crucial to throw a shit ton of money into ads.
That's what we're gonna have to do for that one. We haven't done it yet. Like we just got it up and running, and like have talked about it and be like, hey, it's live, but we haven't like done like heavy marketing on it or
What's your
anything.
approach been for like the Prisms and like?
So that's a good question, because it was mainly like word of mouth through like me and just being like, yo, like go check these out, and then putting up like a Instagram video and then running a promo on it, whether it was on Facebook or Instagram. But then the key is just it's getting affiliates or ambassadors for your product, people that believe in your product and will use it and promote it to their following.
Right.
And you're not having to pay them to do that, because they can make money off of promoting it.
Right.
You know, and we've had like one of the ambassadors for Tropic Color, like this dude, I don't want to say his name just in case he doesn't want me to say it, but his code kills it, and he's made a couple $1,000s just being like, hey guys, go check out Tropic Color's products, dopest in the game, save 10% with or 20%, whatever, with his code. And then we pay him, you know, when he gets sales with his code, we pay him a percentage of that sale. Right. So it's like there's no cost to us, because we're not like having to market or pay dollars on that or pay him, but he can still get free products from us and make money promoting. Yeah. And so it's like a win-win for both parties. They can make money and get free stuff, and we can make money. Right. So it's like a fair, so I feel like that's like one of the best ways is like ambassadors or affiliates that, one, depending on their following, you can either pay to like kind of promote you, or just finding that fair balance of like, yeah, this is enough for me, you know, and kind of that win-win situation. Like, because we don't really put that much into like ads, Facebook marketing. Like, I've always wanted to keep it as organic as possible and not like put it in front of people's faces too much. Yeah. But I feel like there is a lot of potential there that we haven't even like tapped into yet, you know? And I'm not like a wizard with like Facebook marketing or Instagram marketing, but I feel like I have a decent grasp on it. But like, if we wanted to, we could probably bring someone in who knows really what they're doing, and it could like take things there. But it's all been kind of organic.
I like that though. I think that should probably be the approach initially anyway, just to get it started.
Well, that was like me, right? Yeah. That's how I started Tropic Color. It was like, oh, I'm an ambassador. Yeah. Like just letting them trust that like you use their stuff, and organically, not being like, hey guys, go get like, you know, this is my company, this and that, and ad in your face. It was just like, yo, I use this stuff. If you want to use it too, here's 20% off.
Right. Which is kind of like what the route of like being an influencer. Right. If you're, and I was just talking to this with Andrew, because I was like, dude, you need to shoot more BTS of your shit or whatever. We were just talking about it, and he's like,
I've noticed he's been doing that more.
He's been trying, but he's like, I don't want to be I'm like, you're an influencer. He's like, I don't want to be an influencer. I'm like, not in the fucking dumb, like, you know, beach fucking thought. Like, I'm talking about like, you actually direct and produce some of the biggest music videos in the world. Right. I'm like, people look up to you and care about your shit. So talk to them. Like, let them, you don't have to do it in a corny way though. Like, you can find your
that's
way.
What people think it's corny, man. People think it's corny to share that information and show behind the scenes and be like, hey guys, this is what I'm doing. And that's why I said, I feel like some people like look at me as like, oh, not a professional or this or that, because I'm like sharing information, making YouTube videos and BTS, and like, hey guys, check this out. It's like, bro, there's nothing corny about trying to help people ever, and also help yourself.
Love
like
that.
What you mean? Like, what's corny about that?
Exactly.
Like, but I think it gets, like you said, like Andrew was kind of like, oh, I don't know if I want to be the influencer. It might be kind of corny or whatever. And it's like, I think 90-something% of people look at it that way, you know what I mean?
And I think it's fair if you're all right, cool, you want to do traditional route, it is what it is for some people. But like for the people that talk down on that, like if you're literally like the people you're saying like, oh, you're not professional, all that shit, it's like, man, okay, but at the same time, like people, like when a preset comes out or something comes out and it's even free or whatever it is, Video Copilot was making all kinds of fucking amazing tutorials back in the day. Oh, yeah. There's lynda.com that's doing all this shit, and we use that shit to learn. Right. What's the difference between them just having a fucking pro looking website there's no real like leader of it, it's just like a name. Right. Versus someone that's just like, hey, I also have knowledge, I can talk about whatever. Like let me think, Justin Odisho is like a fucking great tutorial dude. And he doesn't do anything in the industry. Right. He's never edited one music video. Right. For that I know of, but for anyone that's of stature, right? Yeah. But everyone that does edit music videos for fucking legends watches his shit. Yeah. They watch his shit. Or won't like do what he's doing because again they feel like, oh, that's like down here, you know, kind of thing. Like, what? But still, I guarantee you, editors. I found myself. I was like on tour. I remember trying to find. I was like, fuck. How do I key this one thing out in After Effects? How do I do that shit again? YouTube. Boom, boom, boom. Justin Odisho pops up. I'm in Germany watching his video. I'm like, yo, what the fuck? That's crazy. But I'm watching a dude who just loves teaching. Yeah. And that's That's not a problem.
Well, see, I love it too because, like, man, when I make any sort of like YouTube videos or tutorials or even just share information, and maybe an IG caption or story or whatever, and people are like, "Yo, bro, like, you literally like changed my life or help motivate me to like get through film school, or I don't have to go to film school because of you. Like, you're helping me like become like, bro, that's awesome. Like, to hear that and like makes you feel so good, like that you're like inspiring people to be the next you or like be the best them, and like, or like maybe they don't have money to go to film school, but because you share what you share, like they can do it, right? Like, that's cool to me, and there's nothing corny about that. But if people want to say it's corny, whatever, I don't care.
We just now, inspired by you, like haven't seen you do this for over the years, like you making guides, right?
Oh yeah.
We were sitting here like
started early on,
like I've even when I went to your store one time, I was like, there's mad shit in your store. Yeah, you have a fucking shit ton of shit.
Yeah, a lot. A shit ton of shit.
That's smart. But I was looking, I was like, because we started, so many people ask me shit, and it's like in depth, it's like hard. I can put it in podcasts.
That's where it comes from,
right?
Taking a problem, like something that keeps coming up over and over, and like providing a solution to it. So you're probably getting all these questions about what? Probably podcast stuff.
So
you're making like a podcast guide or thinking about it or something.
Yeah, no, we're gonna make we made a guide. It'll, by the time this comes out, I think it'll be online. But it's just like how to charge a client booklet, right? So it's cool. Through my experiences, whatever, like charging people and like what, because I feel like it's an untouched.
That's a good thing.
But we just went in depth.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, and I feel like I was thinking about it the other day too, and I was like, man, I wonder how do we get this shit out there or whatever? And you just saying, like, just talking to your friends and doing ambassador codes and shit like that makes too much sense in that lane. And I feel like people,
yeah, bro, like you reach out to me and be like, hey Jake, you want to be an ambassador for this? Cool, I believe in the product. Yeah, go get this new black with no cream guide on how to charge clients. Use code Jakob20 for 20% off, bro. You're gonna see sales.
That's
true.
And
then I win and you win,
right?
Like yeah, it's just that's to me is like the best kind of marketing, when it's just organic, and if it's some like a product that like you believe in and like people follow you because you're good at what you do, and if you're pushing it and because you believe in it or use it, people are gonna pick it up. So it's like it's the best natural way to like spread something, I think.
And I think for me it was always like, is it corny to like am I afraid to like go in that lane? But I feel like for me personally, like I am obsessed with watching growth on YouTube, people that are killing YouTube, right? And then I do all this shit, and then people, if I try to make a video, then people are like, wait, what do you do? You're doing YouTube? And I'm like, yeah, so what? It's fucking dope as shit. There's a whole community out there, and there's like this weird stigma that for the longest time, I don't know if that was just what made me not make it, or if we were just so busy with shit that I had to like sit down and actually write out, like create something like a digital asset.
Takes work.
It takes work. But now that we're doing it, and me and Dave have been working on this for like fucking weeks. Yeah. Nice. And writing it feels so fulfilling to me to like be able to properly give back in a certain way. Like
100%.
You talking about people like, saying like, oh, you changed my life, all this shit. That's incredibly important to me. And I think that every creator needs to consider finding a way to give back in one way or another, whether it's through behind the scenes of how you did some XYZ or like going and speaking and doing shit like that. It makes you money. You should be able to make money for
what you do and helping people like do what you do, but what you love. Yeah. Like you shouldn't be corny for like taking something you love to do and you're good at and like making money off of it. Yeah. Like that's what, like, that'd be like someone who like is a masterful painter and like, you know, paints, but they don't want to teach a class on how they paint because it's corny. They're going to make money in that way, teaching other people how to master painting.
They're never going to make your paintings.
Yeah,
you will always
I've always said that.
Crush.
Like my book, I lay out in my book one like a bunch of business stuff, but how I shoot my videos, how I edit them, like my favorite styles of shooting, this and that. And I'll have people like, yo man, loved your book. You know, like always keep it with me. I've read it front to back, blah, blah, blah. Check out this new video I did, inspired like after I wrote, and it looks nothing like what I would do or shoot. Like it's just no matter how much you teach someone or show someone how to do something, everyone's going to create the way they would create, and they're not you at the end of the day. Like, I don't know. I think people get caught up in maybe being like, oh, they're going to like take over and they're going to take work from me, or it's corny, or like, feel like, they're going to like chop themselves off at the legs and like help other people race past them or something. I don't know.
It's a weird,
I've never felt that way.
Yeah. It's like, you're good. You're always going to be like, as soon as you make something that's fire and no one else has done it, everyone is dissecting that motherfucker and they're figuring out how you did that shit.
Right.
Like Gibson goes and does a Gibson Hazard video, and every kid wants to make a Gibson Hazard video, and they're like, "Oh fuck, how do I do Cinema 4D?" It's you download it and then you learn how to use it, and then you fucking get creative. Like you might not have Drake photos or fucking you know footage with the goats, but like you could still do what these people do. Like it's not hard. But I always feel like it's a weird thing to hinder it, and I applaud you for finding a creative way to like give back constantly, constantly. Yeah. Whether it makes you money or it doesn't. Like, I'm sure you've done a million things that don't make you money that give back, and no one even knows that shit.
No, 100%. Like, and that's the other thing too. Like, if I do stuff, like, I mean, I've like I don't even want to say it, but I've like donated and stuff to like creative foundations and art foundations and stuff. That's like cool. So kids can like, but I never went on like YouTube or Instagram like, hey, yeah, I just donated like this much money to this, you know, children's arts thing. And like, it's just not, you know, what I would do or want to do. Like these, you know, a lot of YouTubers would be like, oh, I bought my brother a car, and like they film the whole thing and whatever. But yeah, I mean, like speaking at my old high school multiple times. I'm going back there in September to just talk about like my journey and how they can like don't listen to anyone if they're telling you like you can't do shit. Like I was you at one point. I didn't have a camera, freaking just a little kid that liked to put pictures into motion, and then I found out how to put it on a computer, and like I didn't have like some special it's not like I was like born and raised in Hollywood, super wealthy by a rich or by a director who's done that. Like I had to find my own way, just like you guys. And yeah, so
yeah,
I
love
just,
that.
You know, I'll do stuff like that, and I have like a mentorship program where like I mentor people and help them and let them on my sets and connect people. And I've had a lot of people through that, like connect with certain people and like go like one of them. Alessandro is doing like a lot of stuff with Andrew right now.
Oh, dope.
Actually, like he
BTS
did the BTS stuff.
Oh yeah, right. I don't think I've met him yet.
He's cool dude, Italian dude, and he's a funny guy.
There you go.
But yeah, I mean, yeah, I have like a mentorship program that like I charge for it, but not what I could or should. But it's not all about that. And like the way I like to put it is like there's like those, you know, what's it called? The Tony Robbins and like these guys that do these events where they speak to hundreds or thousands of people, and I don't know what tickets are to that thing.
$3,000 for Tony Robbins.
What? How many hours to go listen to him talk?
I mean, that motherfucker goes hard though, I guess.
Right? No, for sure. I'm not discrediting him in any way, but I'm just saying like you go listen to him talk for a few hours, and that's what it costs you. And like my thing's nothing close to that. I give you my phone number, my email. We can talk. You come to my sets. We'll hang out. Like, I'll help you in any way. You like, and it's just like for 6 months. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just like I don't have to do that.
You giving out the phone number?
Oh yeah. Yeah, so I don't
think a Beehive fan would fucking track my ass down.
Yeah, that probably wouldn't be good.
I'm giving him a Google number.
So yeah, I enjoy.
That's incredible.
I enjoy helping, you know. But you should also like, you know, get your money and get paid for helping people too. At times, you know, when it's right, and you know you're teaching people how to do what you do. It's like, again, like people go to art classes to learn to paint. Like they're not free. I mean, you might find some like free ones or whatever, but like it is what it is. So but yeah, you should always help people out. All
right, so I do like a Q&A experience that's like on our Patreon channel, so I'll switch to that shit. Okay. Yeah, it's just like an exclusive thing for them.
Exclusive.
Which I want to talk to you about more finance things, because I think a lot of people, you're the goat with fucking making bread, and I want to get a little deeper into that, and then they ask questions too. But before I end it, the last video that I just saw you on was shooting for MGK. Yeah. Travis Barker and Youngblood. Yeah. You were running like B-Cam
handheld all day.
What was can you talk a little bit more about that day, just because it's relevant?
Yeah, I mean, it was a fun day. I got like I actually wasn't even supposed to be there. I was like gonna head back to Arizona, and Andrew called me literally like the night before I was gonna drive back, and was like, yo, what are you doing Saturday or something like that? And I was like, nothing, but I was gonna go back to Arizona. He's like, oh, I need you for B-Cam. I need you handheld on this MGK video. I was like, done. So I showed up, and that was kind of my job for the day, was just to run anything handheld. So I mainly did, because the first part of the day was like all Movi stuff. Corey was running Movi, but then like the concert stuff was all like just handheld, using my creative movements and energy to capture, you know,
up on ladders and
the
shit.
Scene up on a ladder at one point. Yeah, luckily I didn't fall. That would have been drastic had I just toppled, bro. Oh man, especially with all that equipment.
Boz was climbing up a ladder, and he like It almost went down.
fell.
It was
Yeah,
pretty
they're
close.
not safe. It was wobbly. Luckily, yeah, it was. But I got balance. I got core strength. So
That's right.
Get your weight up, and then you'll be good, and you won't fall off ladders.
Yeah,
you know
you
what I'm
fucking
saying?
pussy.
So, yeah,
Fucking pussy ass DPs and second unit.
Yeah.
Fucking get your gains.
yeah. But no, it's fun. Yeah, and I had fun. I just ran BCam and. Yeah, it was a good day. It was a fun set. Like
It was.
I remember like there's like BTS of me and I'm like smiling behind the camera, and I remember a couple people comment, they're like, "Man, it's just so great to like see people like smiling behind the camera and like loving what they're doing." So
I think it was cool because I saw MGK posted, I think yesterday, he said that the video got 1 million views in 24 hours. He's never done that.
Never done. That's crazy. I would have thought that he has, but maybe not.
Crazy, right?
Yeah.
But like
tight.
Wild Boy is probably the biggest song of that whatever year that was.
Right.
But that was probably a slow gross.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
I don't think
True.
people consume like they do now.
Right.
You know what I mean?
True.
But I mean, yeah, it was dope that you guys are all part of that and we're able to like, that's monumental for that.
Yeah.
For 1 million
that's
views
cool.
in a fucking
It
day.
was a fun video. It's tight. It brought so many people back. I think to that was kind of like nostalgic, like early 2000s or, you know, videos. Because that was a lot of the comments that I was seeing, at least on my Instagram, were like, "Yo, so nostalgic," or reminds me of 2005, 2008, or whatever. Which is weird to think like that is already like so long ago, like a decade and older. Like that's pretty.
Yeah, it's
wild.
like the high school emo, like punk
yeah.
shit like that they did. It was dope. Check out the video. You gotta listen to it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just wanted to chime in on that. But this was great, dude. You fucking killed this interview. This is fucking awesome.
Did I?
I mean, I feel like we could do a 10. I would love to do 10 with you.
What's 10?
10 fucking interviews, bro.
Oh, 10. Yeah,
You're
bro.
coming here every day this week.
Knocking them down.
2 times a day.
I love it.
No, all right. So before we switch over to the Patreon shit, I always let my guests pick a hashtag, right? You pick a hashtag, and what I tell everyone to do is go to Jacob's Instagram and tag me on whatever his most current post is when you're listening to this right now.
Okay.
Put this hashtag, tag me at @BenRoversWorld, so that we both know that they listened to this whole interview.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
Yeah, so you can pick whatever
hashtag constant creation.
Whew.
Done. Whew. Put that out there into the Twitter sphere, the ether,
and throw in one of those fucking
a muscle arm and a camera,
because the boy got him.
Yeah,
you know
a muscle arm and a camera with hashtag constant creation, or constant creation first and muscle camera.
There we go. That's tight.
Whatever.
I appreciate you coming on here, bro. You're
Thank
fucking
you
genius.
for having me.
You're incredible.
This was fun. This was a good one.
Thanks, man.
The setup here is crazy, and I wish you all the success in the world
as well. Thank you, dude. I appreciate it. All right, switching over to Patreon. If you guys want to hear the whole thing, it's on patreon.com/BlackWindowCream, and you can hear this exclusive Q&A experience
with the buff nerd, Jakob Owens.
Jakob Owens. What a hell of an episode, guys. I like this podcast. I like it a lot. Make sure you subscribe to Jacob on his YouTube channel. Find him on Instagram. All that stuff. His content is everywhere. His shop is fantastic. So definitely take a little scroll through that and make sure to cop something dope. Our new How to Charge a Client guide is available on shop BWNC.com. If you guys are interested in that, we are selling that right now. Just go dive deep into that guide and write all over it. If you print it out, I guess. I don't know how people mock it up on an iPad, but definitely take some notes. I would love to hear your takeaways and reviews on that guide. I'm pumped as fuck. We went hard as hell in that thing, so thank you for downloading it. I'm excited to hear what you guys think. If you guys want to save a few bucks on that guide, you can go to patreon.com/BlackWindowCream, and when you become a patron, you get it for free. I think at the homies for sure tier and above. I can't remember. It'll say it in the description. So definitely check that out. And stoked on this contest that's coming up. 3 more days, I think, until you have to have your shit submitted. So I hope you guys are on it and win money, because that's what's going to happen. Shout out to Dutch Bros for that. All right, cool. That's it. See you guys on Wednesday. Yeah. Bye.